Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. It's Friday and we're giving you some entertainment this morning. I want to introduce you to a young man. Whether you remember him from Digital Rising Stars or not, I don't know, but we welcome to the show Mr. Daniel King.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm quite fine this morning.
Now, I wanna chat a little bit about your journey in music so far, because you've been doing this for quite a while, yeah?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah, quite a while.
You would say so?
Yeah.
From what I understand, you started the journey at age 17.
Yes, definitely.
And you went through the phase of the Digital Rising Stars, you did Soca Monarch performances.
Yes.
You did the whole shebang. How was the journey been? How would you describe the journey you've been on so far?
It has its ups and downs as always. But I thank God that He has given me the opportunity to, have some open doors here and there. I've been releasing music for quite some time now, so I'm really hoping that at this stage of my career and at this stage of my journey that I can, the Lord propels me to something greater, regionally, internationally. So the journey has been good so far. I can't complain. Everything's fine, everything's cool.
Tell me about that transition from doing regular music, secular music as they would call it, to changing to say you're gonna do gospel music.
That's actually an interesting question. The change came during the Digital Rising Stars competition. So I was performing and being a part of the show, and then coming closer to the end is where I would have reconnected with God, so to speak. And at that point in time, I was really deciding whether or not I should, go back to what I know, which is, I came from a Christian household.
Right.
So I wanted to know whether or not I should go back to singing gospel music as opposed to branching out into the secular arena. And, I made the decision to sing for God and to turn my life around at that point. And it was actually on the Soca Monarch stage where I actually ministered for the first time, a gospel track for the first time.
And how was that experience for you?
It was different because that was actually the first time on such a huge platform, the very first time that I would be singing gospel and ministering to quite a large number of people. So it was.
And that was back in 2012, yeah?
Yeah, that was.
So that means
2012.
Soca Monarch was Ram.
Yeah. It was right after. I remember I was there, and it was right before Black sang.
Oh,
right after actually when Black sang, and he now came off the stage, and the crowd was really hyped and stuff. And in my mind, I was like, you're coming in a party setting to talk about God and that kind of thing. So it was a little nerve-wracking, but God gave me the grace to see it through, and I'm happy that I saw it through.
And how did the crowd react to you coming to talk about God after Blacks?
Like any crowd would react. I guess. I saw some people grooving in the crowd, some people with me. And then, of course, you had the ones who's like, who's this boy? Come to sing gospel music, we here to wine and jam, you know what I mean? But, the reaction was, I would say it was good. I mean, I was accepted pretty well.
In Dr. Roy Cape's funeral on Monday, the priest was saying that God make wine in too. So... So let us go.
Yeah. I guess, as you mentioned that, right, it really depends on culture. Because if you look at gospel in Africa, that's a completely different culture. And it's accepted there.
That's exactly what he was getting at.
Exactly.
What we embrace
so it's culture.
As our culture. We say, okay, this is not sexual or it's not lewd.
Yeah.
It can be for praise as well.
That's correct.
Tell me about the song that we're going to do this morning.
Okay, so the name of the song is Transform It. It was produced by Fisherman Project. That's Nathaniel Hamilton and Daniel Hamilton. I was actually driving my kids to school, and this song came to me while I was driving my kids to school. I didn't put any pen to paper or anything for this song. It's just something that the Lord dropped into my spirit. And, I believe it was something that God was ministering to me for the church at the time. And, of course, I'm grateful this morning that I have the opportunity to share the song on what we would call a secular platform.
I always find that so interesting because it's like, how do you define what is secular and what is not?
Well, what I would say is the Christian community. If you're performing or ministering in a Christian crowd, everybody would have the same belief system.
They're supposed to,
right? But in a secular arena, is a bit different in terms of not everybody may believe. Some people may believe. Some people still iffy about it. Some people would have
to talk to?
Exactly, and that's why Jesus came as well. So that is why I'm grateful to have the opportunity this morning to minister this particular song to the masses and to Trinidad and Tobago.
I mean, I don't know if I would call us secular because every Sunday we had church here on the station. You know?
True.
I just saying,
all right.
you know what I mean? However, we will get into the track this morning. Before
Sure.
we do so, though, tell me how people can find you if they want to get more of your music.
Okay, so right now, you can find my music on YouTube. I'm currently working on getting my song on all the other streaming platforms. And you could also look for me and find me on Instagram, Daniel King Ministry on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook as well, Daniel King, and any other social media platform as Daniel King or Daniel King Ministry.
All right, fantastic. Well, Daniel
Yes,
King,
sir.
if you don't mind, let's get into the song now.
Yeah.
The name of the song is Transform It, and Daniel's going to premiere it right here on the Now Morning Show on our
Yes, sir.
secular platform, as he says.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Transform it. Transform it. Transform it. Jesus, transform it. I don't wanna live in sin no more. No more. Lord Jesus, you are knocking at my door, yeah, and you inviting me to be part of your kingdom, and in your kingdom there is transformation. So all my burdens, Jesus, transform it. All my sins and addiction, Jesus, transform it. Lord, you put a smile back on my face, you transform it. And you take me to a higher level, transform it. You turn it around, 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 around. For my good Lord, you turn it around. My situation, transform it. You turn it around, 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 around. For my good Lord, you turn it around. My circumstances, Jesus, transform it. Jesus, transform me. Lord, you put a smile back on my face, you transform it, and you take me to a higher level. I believe the joy of the Lord is my strength, and I believe, yeah, your grace is enough for me. I believe you are bringing me out. You brought me out of darkness, transform me into marvelous light. So all my burden, Jesus. All my sins and addiction, Jesus. Lord, you put a smile back on my face, you transform it, and you take me to a higher level. You turn it around, 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 around. For my good Lord, you turn it around. Transform it, you turn it around, 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 around. For my good Lord, you turn it around. My circumstances, Jesus, transform it. Father, transform it. Lord, you put a smile back on my face, you transform it, and you take me to a higher level. You brought me out of darkness, transform me into marvelous light. You brought me out of darkness, transform me into marvelous light. You brought me out of darkness, transform me into marvelous light. Brought me out of darkness, transform me into marvelous light. Brought me out of darkness, transform me into marvelous light. You brought me out of darkness, transform me into marvelous light. Brought me out of darkness, transform me into marvelous light.